about creating the STEAM connection, and how did you get that going? It seems like it has a lot of momentum now, which is awesome to see, and like exciting things are coming up. But how did you start out, and how did you get funding initially and let people know about your mission? And yeah, how did you encourage people to support you?
That's an interesting question. Honestly, I've never really been one to advertise. I kind of just do my thing and I talk to people, and sometimes people want to share about it, sometimes they don't, and that's cool. Yeah, so I founded my organization when I was 18. I actually have a tattoo of the day I founded it, which was January 1st, 20, oh my God, was it 2020? Yeah. And, oh, wait, 2019. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, I got a tattoo of it. I should know. But yeah, I was 18 years old, and it was kind of a crazy time for me because it was after I graduated and I had seen kind of the unsafe learning environments that existed. I had been through it, and I ended up inventing my robot and writing 6 children's activity books within all the same month as I founded my organization. I was like, I'm going to go big or I'm going to go home. And I also taught 20 classes, so I was like, why not? And so I just kind of went for it. And I really wanted to be able to create opportunities for the students. And I was like, you know what? I wasn't seeing it happen on the robotics teams I was on. I stayed back to mentor my robotics team, and it wasn't happening. The outreach wasn't happening. The programs that I really cared about were not happening. I was like, I can do it on my own. And so I did. And a lot initially of the funding came from my public speaking. And when I was starting, I was only getting paid like a couple $100 for things. I was not getting paid a lot. And especially for very long talks as well. My first lecture I ever gave, I think I was 17. I was flown out for it by SolidWorks. It was so scary. I don't think I was paid for that. No shade to that. And then my largest, I think lecture was an hour and a half. I remember giving a lecture for Fanuc at that age, or Fanuc. I can't remember how to pronounce it, but someone fell asleep during it. Oh my God. I just, these things scar you, you know? It didn't stop me, but it did scar me because I remember in the middle of my talk saying like yeehaw and thing. I don't know. That's how I got my money, was through public speaking and things. Some money I had saved up as well throughout like high school. And so I was just buying robot parts and buying motors and buying parts. And honestly, in the beginning stages of my organization, I only spent a couple $1,000s. So things were pretty manageable. Now our operating budget is over $70,000 a year, which is low if you're in the nonprofit business, but it's high in the beginning stages of a youth-run nonprofit. And our budget keeps going up by the day. It's crazy over here. We're writing comics now. We're doing research now. We're, paying students to contribute. We're inventing tons of robots. We're scaling manufacturing. Each manufacturing run is $5,000. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The biggest way we were able to scale, I think, was actually a shift in perception of my work, which is a very weird thing to say. But for a long time, people viewed me as a volunteer and a youth volunteer. And it can be hard to be seen or respected when people see you as very young. Even if you are, people will not treat you always the best. And so it wasn't until I started working with MIT that people started respecting what I did. And by working with, I am an MIT Solve Indigenous Communities Fellow. And so that really helped get the support I needed to be able to keep growing, bring in large grants and things like that. But before then, a lot of the support, a lot of the funding was because of me being young and things like that. And it can be so hard to get continued funding. It can be hard for people to take you seriously. It's like, I take myself seriously, like, please join, join me. But it can be very hard when you see the vision and you understand what you want to accomplish, and people do not really want to get along with it because of your age. And yeah, I think for me, it was just like building those things in, being aware that I needed to really improve my tech skills if people are going to take me seriously. So I think being an MIT Solve Indigenous Communities Fellow, inventing the SCOBOTs, things like that has helped. But yeah, being able to get support has taken a very long time. And even if people shared my story, they did not always support me financially or support my ideas. Sometimes they just wanted to say they were supporting youth, but they would not actually support.
Yeah.
But that was a long-winded answer.
No, it's a good one, and that's what we're here for, is to just, you know, be able to talk about that stuff, because I want anybody who's watching who is thinking about, oh, well, you know, how did she get there? Like, maybe I could do something for my community that's similar.
Mhm.
You know, knowing what it's like and what you have to do to get the ball rolling is a good part of the puzzle.
It definitely was difficult. I did take college classes for a while. I did not get good grades. I would constantly think about my organization and what I could do for the students. I would write lesson plans during my lectures. I think that it is hard. You cannot, in this industry, be self-made. You have to be community made. You have to have people who are going to help pick up where you leave off. And you're going to have, even if it's not financial support, you need to have supporters in general. Even for me, like, I can't drive still. Like, getting different places when I couldn't afford Ubers, doing different things, right? Like, my friends have been so supportive and things like that. But it definitely is like, you need to have good people around you. You cannot do it alone.
I totally agree with that. So many people help me with Alpenglow. Like, I wouldn't be able to do the things that I can do without them. Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of pride associated with doing things on your own, but I think it's even more of an accomplishment to show that you created beautiful things with other people, especially if it's meant to be for your community, being built with your community. That's so beautiful.
Yeah, I totally agreed. Jen says we're making her teary-eyed now. And Bob says he loves the phrase community made instead of self-made.
Yeah, I say on I think I have it written somewhere, but I say like built by community for community, and that's true. You know, like
Yeah.
I think it's so important for the students to be at the forefront of the decision making with the work that I do. For me, it's not about me. It's not about even my interests. It's about like I want to build an organization to last beyond me. To last beyond anything that I would ever be up to. I want it to always be for the kids. And so building an organization with that in mind is very difficult. Oh my goodness. It has whipped me into shape. There's a lot I am not good at. And so it is really, really kind of brought that to the forefront. I was like, wow, I really do not like paperwork.
Oh, preach.
Like, oh, that sucks, you know? Like even travel. I travel every week.
Yeah.
I like being somewhere, not as much getting there.
Getting there. Yes.